A little bit of a funny story here. Recently, I was backing up our 2016 F-350 Dually, and I didn't see the concrete abutment on a post.
Well, you were in a parking lot to stop.
I was in a parking lot for a stop, a quick stop, and I didn't see it.
And I saw it.
Beth saw it, but she warned me too late. So this is all her fault, really.
I saw it, and I tried to warn him, but
she warned me when I hit it.
Well, I
is
said,
when she warned me.
I said, Tom, there's a pole.
That was after I'd already hit it. So anyway, got to remove.
His story.
That's right. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So just did a little bit of damage back here to this fender well, and yeah, Beth was showing you. So you can see
Scratches.
Mostly it scratches, and it was a little loose up in through here. So I've got to take the wheel well off to fix this. So to take the wheel well off, it uses little plastic push-in pieces along here and up in through here. So to remove this, hopefully you didn't get dizzy when I did that. So that piece has been removed. Now that piece has been, there's my mud flap. My mud flap came off. That had screws all through here. So took that off. And on the front, there is, once again, it's plastic, the little plastic press-in pieces, and then a one screw here too. So you got two screws and a bunch of plastic pieces that hold in the wheel well liner there. And then there's two bolts with nuts that were here that I removed, and those actually had Loctite on it. And then a bolt came out of here, and the nut on the back side is a captive nut. And then each of these down here have nuts on them as well. There's three of them, both on the front and back. There are nuts on the back of those that have to be removed. And on the lights, to disconnect the lights from the front light and the back light, you press on this little piece here, right there. And when you press on that little piece, then it allows you to pull that off of the light as well. So I've got a few more bolts. There's bolts up along the top here, and there, captive nuts on the back. Then I've got to remove those, and I got to remove the ones on the very back, and then I'll be able to bend this fender back into place, hopefully. It turns out you do not have to remove the bolts in this piece. This is basically a flange that holds the fender in. So there's those bolts on the front and on the back as well. Kind of hard to see, sorry about that. So like that little bolt right there did not have to come out. Now, in my case, it looks like when I hit that, I broke these little pieces here, have a bolt attached to them, and I appear to have broken that bolt. So I have to probably order those now. But in the meantime, I can get the fender back on and tight so that it at least will look halfway decent. That's what it looks like with my 2016 F-350 Dually Fender off. I have got to clean it up. These are the pieces that are no longer working properly. The bolt inside those now spins. Since that bolt spins, I can't use them to tighten anything down. So I've got to replace those three pieces here on the back. Everything else I'll clean up, and we'll put everything back together. Pretty much just looks like that's really what it is these pieces being broken is why the fender would not tighten back down like it should. Here it is all cleaned up already. And somebody pointed out that it looks like in the factory they just kind of cut off this fender well when they did the dually. It's kind of interesting that they did it that way, but it looks like it's going to work pretty well. Put everything back together using as much as I have, and that'll keep it from falling off going down the road. And then I'll get the additional parts and put them back on. Fender is back on. I did not buff out the scratches or anything. It's kind of a war wound. So, but the fender's on. It's nice and tight up in there, and so it's not going to be going anywhere. So now I have to put the wheel well liner back in place. Everything is put back together and fastened back up. So everything's nice and tight. So we should be good to go for a little while. See you around a campfire, everybody.